I've had about a week now with Lenovo's Thinkbook 14. This is an AMD Ryzen 4500U powered laptop, 8 gigs of RAM and a quarter terabyte SSD. It's not a two-in-one like other Lenovo laptops like the Yoga series, which is really consumer oriented. This is business oriented. So it's a pretty traditional two-in-one, although it does rotate all the way back, the monitor does. This is a little hard for me to evaluate right now, but I'm of course going to give it my best effort. Just keep in mind that I've spent the last month or so diving into the Apple ecosystem for the very first time, and I've had a MacBook Air and MacBook Pro, and I'm really diving into that. So even though this is nowhere near the price of even a MacBook Air, and it does perform, I think, exceptionally well considering the price, which is about $750 US, it's still hard for me to say, well, you know, where does this fit into my life? So another disclaimer I need to call out, in addition to the current Apple bias, is that this is really targeted at not consumers, but business people. So if you own a small business, maybe you're an entrepreneur, single employee business owner type thing, then this is really the type of machine that Lenovo wants you to consider. It's similar to a ThinkPad, which is of course used widely in the enterprise business space, but it doesn't have quite the fit and finish or the security or the military specifications from a physical durability standpoint as those machines. So if you take a ThinkPad and you strip away those things, you're left with a Thinkbook. So really at the end of the day, it's a laptop, but it's a laptop that has considerations for the business world. For example, it does have HDMI out. You're not going to see that on a MacBook or other thin and light business laptops, or thin and light consumer laptops, I should say. It also has room for a full-size Ethernet port, so another thing that you might expect in more of the business environment, although that is becoming less and less the case, particularly if you're a single member LLC or you just run your own business, maybe you have 1 or 2 employees, you're probably not going to need Ethernet just because of the size of your business. But if you have a 50 employee company and maybe you're trying to outfit everyone in the organization with the same exact laptop, or at least the same class of laptop or the same brand, then you may want to just get, you know, you're going to, what's the phrase? Regress to the mean. So you're going to have, if IT needs Ethernet access, you want to buy the same machine for everybody, everyone's getting a laptop with Ethernet port in it. Anyhow, a few things to call out. You know, the number one thing for me is always performance. It's not about, from a business standpoint, it's not about how well does it play Diablo or Call of Duty or something. It's really about what's it like to use the Office suite, because that's what most people are using. Even at super large organizations like Nike, they're still using Excel. So in terms of how that goes on this machine, you're expecting about 3 to 3.5 seconds in my testing to open Word for the very first time or Excel for the very first time. So if you boot up the machine cold in the morning, like literally boot it up from nothing, not from sleep mode, and then you open Word, it's going to take you under 4 seconds to open it up. That's not lightning fast, but this is a laptop, and I think in that case it's pretty good. It does not have any type of instant on or instant wake technology like you'll find in the 11th gen Intel processors, even the mobile ones, or that you would find in the new Apple M1 silicone socks. Those, of course, have instant on. This does not. But, you know, you can change your settings and sacrifice some battery life to make it work. Speaking of battery life, I ran my video test on this with the speakers on about 25%, the brightness at half, and the only thing running being YouTube in a loop. And it's a great way to get views on my videos. I'm just kidding. I got a view. Okay, but anyway, 9 hours, 18 minutes before the battery completely died. So this is the top of the Thinkbook laptop. So you'll open the display from here. The hinge is on this side. You get the Thinkbook logo, two-toned design, and then the Lenovo logo / badge. I love this look. I think it's very classy. Now you're getting a Thinkbook, or rather a ThinkPad, but with fewer features. And one of the first features you're going to notice that is different, it doesn't have that scratch-resistant matte coating on the top that's black on the ThinkPads. It's a shame, but if you want a ThinkPad, you can get one, right? This is a less expensive laptop coming in at around $700. In terms of input-output, Kensington lock, a full-size Ethernet port. You just pull this down, you can plug your Ethernet in. USB Type A and a full-sized memory card slot for SD cards. On the back, no ports, but you can see the intake here. And on the other side, 2 USB-C non-Thunderbolt
HDMI full size out, USB-A, and headphone jack. Now there's two indicators here. This one is for power, and actually instead of an indicator, I do believe this is a reset button that is unique to the Lenovo laptops. That's Lenovo laptops, if you pardon my speech there. You can put a little needle in there and then it will reset the laptop. It's been on Lenovo's for a long time, but not every Lenovo laptop has it. And if you're curious what the bottom looks like, yeah, here you go. Nothing too exciting down there, but easily opened with a screwdriver. So now I'll go ahead and open it up, give you a tour of the inside. Well, not the inside, but you know what I mean. So now you get a regular size keyboard, no number pad. There are some function keys built into this. Answer call, hang up phone call, calculator button, which makes a ton of sense for business users. Quickly mute your microphone and audio controls. Fingerprint scanner for biometric login on the power button. There is you can see the hinge here is pretty comprehensive, whereas the latest Lenovo laptops have been going with an old school hinge design where there's a 2-point hinge connection, and that's led to some wobble and challenges with the computers waking up. I've noted that in my previous videos about the Legion laptops. A rather small trackpad. We'll have to fire this thing up to see how it feels. And of course you have your Lenovo badging and your AMD Ryzen badging, the 4500U. So that's exciting. AMD Radeon graphics, but again, not gonna be doing this as a video game laptop review. There is a backlit display, which you can tell from this icon. Function spacebar will adjust the lighting, probably 3 stages. Now the hinge is, I mentioned, comprehensive, in terms of visual as well as function. So you can lay this thing flat, as you can see. And there is a think shutter up here to block the camera. And you have some rather thin bezels here, definitely thinner than we'd find on a MacBook, but we are not talking about a 16:10 display, so you still have a bit of a chin and a bit of a forehead. So one of the first things I like to do is go to the old Geeks Worldwide, the GWW.com, my former team over here at GWW. And look at that, you can join the newsletter, that is awesome. And ooh, nice little move there, I like that. Good job, Casey and team. So as you can see, browsing the web, once you change that screen resolution to 100%, you can see a lot more of what's going on. We got some news from GWW. Basically, the reason I went here of all websites is that I know this website so well from all the years of working on it, and I would say that things are running pretty smoothly, which is awesome. Now, the next thing I want to test is just overall video consumption. This is not a battery test. It's just going to be an audio test. So make sure this is full 1080p. It sure is. And we'll go ahead and hit play. Get the speakers going. All right, here we go. Tech adventure, not Geeks Worldwide. Geeks Worldwide is a company that I started in 2010. Okay. I decided to leave a few months ago, and we just wrapped up all the transition. So that's yeah. So it doesn't get super loud, and it looks okay. This is at max brightness, unplugged. I'll go ahead and plug it in, see if that changes things a bit. No difference. Okay, so we're at peak brightness here. So it's not a very bright display. It does seem somewhat dim to me. Let's go ahead and get the camera started. So used to doing the finder now. All right, so camera. Let's see, how are we looking? Yeah, go ahead. There we are. Hello, me. One thing I will show you is that what the active think shutter thing does. Boom. Now you can't see me, but you can still hear me. And back. It worked. All right. So now that we have some things plugged in, let's go ahead and test the typing experience. Fire up Word, open a new document. Okay. Okay, just one typo there. Corrected myself. Okay, keyboard feels pretty good. It's not difficult to type on. It is backlit. Let's see what we got here. On or off? Nope. 2-stage. There we go. It is backlit, which of course is great in the dark. The speakers are a little weak. I don't know a better way to put it. They are bottom firing, so it's reflecting off this wood surface. That's something to keep in mind. So I'll continue to test it and get back to you here in a few minutes with some more thoughts.
So the question that I need to answer before I could wrap this up is, who is this thing for? And that's actually a hard question to answer. You see, even though this is aimed at business professionals, it's aimed at the lighter market, right? So small business owners. I think Lenovo uses small business in their marketing collateral, right? So looking at it from that lens, you know, hey, it's not ugly, but it's not sexy, right? It's not thin, but it's not thick. It's not super light, but it's not too heavy to carry around. So it kind of skirts all the traditional thin and light norms, while also providing a lot of what business professionals need, like the HDMI out, the SD card reader, and plenty of I/O, just put it that way, including that Ethernet port. But it lacks in other ways, like it isn't as thin and light, and it doesn't have a very good trackpad. This trackpad it's not fun to use. I definitely recommend a mouse if you're going to buy this laptop. But on the other hand, it's priced pretty well. So this model here, the 4500U, 8 gigs of RAM, 256, this is $950 MSRP, but Lenovo always has sales. And if you buy this direct from Lenovo today, April 2nd, it's only $650. So at $650, this is a completely different conversation. Like, where are you going to find a machine this well built with such a reliable manufacturer with such good components like a 4500U, and it's only going to be $650? That's really hard to find. On the other hand, if you're looking at the price at this particular moment, it's $800. Yeah, well, there's a lot of competition at $800 space, like the MSI laptops. So, or a last gen machine, if you want to go back to like a Surface laptop, even a 3, right? It may not perform as well as this, but at least it has like the Microsoft brand, a better keyboard, better trackpad, better display, 16:10 ratio, right? Which is fantastic for business professionals. I mean, imagine those spreadsheets in 16:10 by 16:9. I know it's hard to imagine. It's just better, believe me. So it's kind of a coin toss at the moment, but I do like it, right? I do like it. So I guess one last thing I should mention. One last thing. The hinge on this bad boy, I've been trying to work it since I shot the overhead video, and I can't quite get it to chill out. So yeah, you are not going to one-hand open this thing. That's the other thing, right? Like, if you're one of those people who wants just like the supreme build and super high quality, that's not what this is for, right? But hey, it's pretty sturdy how it just sort of sits there, right? Anyhow, okay, I hope you found this helpful. I've got more videos coming soon, and I'll be sending this one right back to Lenovo. So thanks to Lenovo for letting me give it a shot for a week, and thanks for watching Tech Adventure. Catch you on the next one. Cheers.